What's up, everyone? For today's cast, this will be cast number 25. I wanted to do something a little bit differently. I wanted to talk to you guys about tags. This is something that like every gamer needs, but not every gamer has. So, all right. So, in my time being a caster so far for the Indie StarCraft Team League and for my own solo casting, as well as doing plenty of observing of like professional games. Like I just got back from MLG the other day. I've it's something that like I've been noticing is like a big thing that nobody really ever talks about, and new players that are just coming onto the scene don't really have much of an idea about like how to get a good tag. Like, what are the rules for getting a good tag? Well, um, there aren't really any like hardcore rules about what makes a tag good, but here is my two big rules that I have for making a tag. The first, your tag has to be easy to remember. Okay, like too many times, like I'm casting like some games in StarCraft, and I'll get somebody whose tag is just hard to remember. It's not necessarily a bad tag, like it's not like a lame tag or anything. Like some of them are really clever, but if your tag is hard to remember, it doesn't matter how clever it is, because if your casters or if your teammates can't remember what your tag is, well then, I mean, your tag is not that good. So I've had people with like tags like one of many. Great player, fantastic player. His tag is hard to remember for some reason. Like it's just one of those things where it's like if people are having a hard time remembering your tag, chances are you probably need to change it. The second rule that I have is that you should not be using the same tag as any famous professional players. You should. It doesn't matter really how good you are, or if you're doing that to like be like, oh yeah, my name is actually Slayer's Boxer. I'm actually playing that. Don't be that guy. Don't use a tag that's the same as like a well-known professional player. And it's one of those things where it sucks. Like if your tag is Vibe, and you aren't the Vibe that just won the WCS, and you've had that tag forever. Sorry, Vibe. Chances are you're probably gonna have to change your tag because now there's a famous professional player who has that same tag. Okay, so what makes a tag? How do you know that you have a good tag, or if you have a tag that like you shouldn't change or that you should hold on to? Personally, I don't think I have the greatest tag. My tag is Vindicare. I don't think it's the greatest tag in the world. It's not necessarily the most clever or anything. Why do I think I know I have a good tag? Because whenever I meet people online or whenever I have like guild mates or friends or whatever, they always will choose to call me by my tag, even if they know my real name. That's how you know you have a good tag. If people want to call you by your tag, then you have a good tag. My brother has a good tag, Ajax. It's a good tag. People call him by that. My dad's even started calling him by that every now and then just to be funny. If people, the other good thing is if you know that you have a good tag, is if people can shorten your tag, and they'll choose to call you by your shortened tag. So, for example, the little one by itself is a little long, I think. It's easy to remember, the little one. It's easy to remember, but his fans started calling him TLO. So he changed. Well, he didn't even change his tag really, but now he's more commonly known as TLO, which is still his tag. It's just an abbreviated version of it. And a lot of really good tags will have the capacity to be shortened like that. Minshul, MC. Marine King Prime, MKP. Dongray Gu, DRG. My friend Overbear. That's his tag, is Overbear, and his last name is actually O'Brien. So all of his friends now call him OB, and that's now his tag, OB. It's a good tag. It's easy to remember. It flows off the tongue, and it's just one of those things where it's like it's an easily identifiable good tag. So here's some tips, in my opinion, for coming up with a good tag. Keep it simple, short and sweet. If you can make something clever, that's cool, but if it's clever and not easy to remember, well, then it's not a good tag. So, having a clever or original tag the is not necessarily the best way for coming up with a good tag. I mean, look at like some of the guys like Flash. Flash, when you think about it, is not a great tag. He made it a good tag because he's that good. It doesn't matter how clever or unoriginal your tag is. If you're a good player, you'll make that tag worthwhile. What's more important is that the tag is easy to remember and it's easy for people to identify you with it. So here are some like things that you can do to draw inspiration from. Like look at your name, for example. Like I just gave that example about O'Brien who is now OB, that's a good tag. If I identify my own name, Andrew Resendez, what can I do with that tag? Well, I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, huh, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, what about just Dez? You know, Resendez. You know, I'll just be like Dez. That's a good tag. I could be like Liquid Dez, and it totally fits. It's a great tag. It's easy to remember. It's short and sweet, and it's also original, so it's a good tag. So, for all you guys out there that are trying to like that are struggling with like a bad tag that's less like, don't go with like sentence tags or anything like that. Just stick with something simple. Stick with something relatively short. If you can keep it short and still make it clever, great, great. Just go with that. So on that point, but the all tags don't need to be short. And I was about to say that like what is in my opinion the best StarCraft 2 tag? The best StarCraft 2 tag in my opinion is Marine King. Marine King is, I think, the best tag in StarCraft 2, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why. The first is that it's original. I mean, I just said that that was a plus, but it's also original and it's easy to remember. He's the Marine King. Everybody can know him as the Marine King. It's one of those tags that's very, very difficult to forget. So it's easy to remember, and it's original. The third thing, and this is actually really important if you can get a tag to do this, is that it is very indicative of how he plays. If you can come up with a tag somehow that identifies how you like to play, fantastic. Fantastic. That should be a plus. Like I said, it's got to be easy to remember, and if you can keep it short and sweet, great. But he has a tag that is both relatively short, Marine King. It's only 3 syllables long, so it's a great tag. It could be shortened up to MKP. Like he's got a really like short and easy to remember tag. If you can come up with a tag that like also has those characteristics that kind of demonstrate how you like to play, well then that just makes a good tag a great tag. And then finally, if you have a tag that people can draw pictures to, that's another plus. That's another great plus. Now very few people actually have a tag like that. Hero has a tag like that. Marine King has a tag like that. That's like the only two that are really coming to my mind right now. But if you can have a tag that's like that, well then it's also just a fantastic tag also. So I think at this point, what I'm trying to get at here is that your tag needs to be easy to remember. Don't try and come up with something complicated. Don't try and come up with something that's like hard to remember, hard to say, just for the sake of being clever or original. Just stick to something simple. I mean, look at Nestea. Nestea is so unoriginal. It's a bland name. He got it by looking at his desk and like seeing a bottle of Nestea on his desk. But it's easy to remember. It's easy to remember, and now he's the God Zerg Nestea. Okay, that's the most important thing I'm trying to get at here. Short and sweet, easy to remember. If you don't have a tag that's like that, or if you don't have a tag that can be shortened to fit one of those two characteristics, change your tag. There's nothing wrong with that. Day 9 changed his tag like a million times before he finally settled on Day 9. So choose a good tag. It's worthwhile. It'll make it easier for you if you're trying to like become a professional, for you to attract fans, because people will be able to identify you better in tournaments and stuff like that. It's a worthwhile investment. So go with a good tag. Make a good tag. It makes playing on the ladder so much easier if people have like cool tags. This and that. So that is my cast number 25. It was just a quick thing that I was thinking about, and just because I finally made it this far, I didn't think I'd actually make it to 25 solo casts. I figured that it was worthwhile to do something a little different. So that'll do it for today. I will be doing another cast, I think, at some point later today, maybe. I've been getting emails from people asking for help, similar to what I did with Iron Man. So I think I'm going to be doing some of that later. I have another platinum level replay that I've been working on, and there's been replay packs that have been coming out too. So there's been lots of stuff for me to work on. But I'm still doing the ISTL, so catch me tomorrow. That'll be Wednesday for the ISTL, and until then, I'll probably be doing my placement matches or whatever for Season 8. So until next time, guys, this is Vindicare. KT Vindicare is actually something I just added on. Like if I haven't said this already, KT Vindicare is that KT that I added onto it. I did that because first of all, Twitter already had a Vindicare on it, which is really annoying, and there's other Vindicares out there because I took the tag from Warhammer. So KT Vindicare is me personally, but my tag is actually just Vindicare. And then if you want to know what the KT actually stands for, KT is my home realm on World of Warcraft, Kel'Thuzad. And I know that I might get a little bit of hate sometimes for being such an avid WoW player, but the times that I had on that realm back in the day in 2006, 2007 is some of the best times that I think I've ever had playing video games. So it's worthwhile for me to throw that out on my tag name. So that'll do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more casts probably later today. This is cast number 25, so I'll be coming back later with cast number 26. Thanks for watching.